This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. What's the smiley face?
I gotta say, we might need to change my official picture, bro. I'm looking too serious in this. Like, I just looked myself in the eye as I waited to load in and said, man, what was I so mad about that day? Life is good. I need to smile more. I'm gonna send you a selfie in or something like that. We gotta update this, man. I can't have people thinking I'm about to, here comes the grumpy segment. Man, I'm better than that.
Well, you're already coming in with energy. That's all. You fooled them.
Saw that edge, man. Come on.
That's right.
Anything, I'm on brand. I'm on brand.
More importantly, are you feeling better?
I'm feeling a lot better, yeah. That was second go-around was a lot easier than the first. Go figure. Look at the science, right? Get a little vaccine in you, and all of a sudden it's not as bad as when you're – but we don't got to get all that. I'm feeling a lot better.
Some people are lucky. You know, some people have where it goes through them and it doesn't really affect them. And then there are some people that get hospitalized. It's you know, that's the thing about the science part of it. They haven't figured that part out. And that's why you don't want to take the chance and just get the stupid vaccine. And, you know, and hopefully if it does hit you, it doesn't hit you hard. You know what I mean? And that's the good thing.
Look, I know the Bills got a lot of attention last year for their stance against the vaccine. Not the Bills specifically, but, you know, Bills players. I'm not trying to get anybody sued here. But a lot of Bills players were famous for that. But one that went a little bit under the radar was their left tackle, Pro Bowler Deion Dawkins, was actually hospitalized for 4 days with COVID. He was, I think, maybe a couple days from that 2-week threshold of the vaccine being fully integrated into your system when he caught it. And yeah, he was hospitalized. And I remember seeing him, man, because you know, there's out of shape, and then there's your lungs aren't there. And I could see him when he finally got back in training camp. And that just the look on his face when he was trying to run, I said, oh, man, I think this thing might have been worse than we were led to believe. And he got on the Zoom call maybe 3-4 days later and poured his heart out and like really tried to plead with people. Hey, please get this. Like, if you're able to, please do. But, you know, once professional athletes started struggling to get their lungs back, that's when I think this should have been taken a little bit more seriously in terms of its long-term effects. But you can't make everybody do something in this country. You know, you could lead a horse to a vaccine, but you can't make it get the shot or something like that.
No, yeah. Once it was politicized, then people then politicized it instead of just, you know, take the vaccine like we have since we were kids when we had to do measles and everything else that we've been taking forever. So it's
crazy. I thought that was what we were all waiting for. I thought we were inside in 2020. And everybody's like, man, I can't wait for a vaccine. And then all of a sudden it came too fast. Like, y'all was trying to be inside for another 2 years. I don't know. It's 2022 though. Praise God.
Yep, exactly. Thank the Lord that we've got the vaccine and we're able to get the hell out and we'll have normal football again. By the way, I it's funny that, you know, somebody brought up the 2 bye week thing. I've been talking about that for years now. And I don't know why the NFL has not done that, going to 2 bye weeks. I've said everybody that plays on Thursday night needs to be on a bye week, where you're on the bye week before the Thursday night. That way you're off for 10 days before you play that Thursday game. And then after you play the Thursday game, you're off for another 10 days until you play again. I forgot who it was that brought it up, and I don't know why the NFL hasn't done that already. Plus, it extends the season another week, which gives the TV companies another week that they have of the NFL, which is another week of revenue. You know what I mean? And because you lose 4 teams that week, it's only 2 games that you're losing. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, my first instinct was going to say money. Every decision the NFL makes is financially based. But like you said, it does extend the season by a week. So not sure. I also am inclined to think that
you're playing an 18th week without an 18th game.
Yeah, I think either.
You're playing a 19th week without an 18th game.
I think that both teams that play on Thursday should get a bye. or either get a bye or get a Monday night game afterwards. But that's obviously, it's back-to-back prime times.
No, you got to give them a bye before.
But
you have to
they get a bye.
No, you have to give them a bye before.
Yeah, bye before. You're right. Bye before. And then also when you travel internationally, as I think Dolphins fans the team learned last season, like you can't go. That was a brutal stretch, man. Like they go overseas, then they're back at home. Then I think they're up in Buffalo, home again, and then Thursday night, the week after that, it was just like.
Did you watch Flo on his challenges? Yeah, he wasn't very good at certain things.
It was an odd decision because they requested that, as we all remember. They requested that, so I think that I think that strategy is probably dead. It's done. It's canceled. So no need to worry about that moving forward. And they're not even going to London this year. I think they opted to stay in California back-to-back weeks, or have both of their California games in back-to-back weeks, so that they could stay out there. So new staff is already.
And they did that for you, by the way, so you can hang out with mom for 2 weeks.
My mom's not in California anymore, man. Like my family's, everybody's moving out. No one wants to pay $7 a gallon for gas anymore, man.
I mean, let's be honest. California's a shithole.
Hey.
It is.
I can say that.
It's turned into a shithole.
It's still California.
Yeah, but I know. But they allow you to steal all you want.
One city.
Fires all over the damn place. Gas is $4,000 a gallon. I mean, it's just so crazy what's gone on over there, bro. Terrible leadership. That Newsom guy. Jesus Christ.
I think that San Francisco is my mom would be so disappointed because that's her hometown. But San Francisco is one of my least favorite cities, like major cities in the United States, because it's disgusting. It's all the grossness of New York City with none of the actual glamour. And
I know.
It's beautiful to look at when you're outside the city, but when you're inside,
I lived in San Francisco 20 years ago, and it was awesome.
Awesome.
25 years ago, 1997.
The years were kind.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It was a quarter century ago. Now you go to San Francisco, and it's a shame, dude.
I hate this. I really don't even like the Bay Area that much, to be honest, because Oakland isn't that much better. Man, people are moving to Oakland, and now Oakland prices are shooting up, skyrocketing.
Yeah, well, California is like number one in the country of everybody getting the hell out. There's no state losing more residents than California every year right now. It's bad.
Yeah, so I always wanted to move back, man. I always wanted to move back. I had a dream of hopping onto the Chargers beat when I was with the ESPN. I figured, I play out my contract in Buffalo and then move out to LA. But I'm glad that I didn't, man. I'm glad I didn't, because I wouldn't go anywhere. You got me messed up if you think I'm paying $750 for what, man? To go anywhere. I'm not driving anywhere. Just sitting in that traffic, paying that much in gas. I'm mad that it's $5 a gallon down the street from my house here. So man.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. It's been a terrible thing. All right. The Dolphins obviously are quiet right now. Are you expecting any other moves out there? Is there a free agent? We're already past the JC Treader stuff. So
we're getting back into that.
No, because obviously Connor is already set, right? So this is not an experiment. This is actually what they're going to do. So Treader's not needed anymore. Is there another guy that's out there in another position that you think the Dolphins should explore?
No, I think this roster is set. I mean, I've been saying on the show for months now what this coaching staff felt about the offensive line, that even though it was dead last in pass block win rate last season, they felt like players weren't put in the best position to succeed. They wanted to give a couple upgrades to the line. We see Williams, we see Teron Armstead, and that they'll let their coaching staff that has a history of developing offensive linemen do the rest. So they're set on the line, I think, on both sides of the ball. They're set at defensive back. They're set at skill position. They're set at running back. I think that at this point, your core is intact. Your depth is intact. all you need to do from here is get in the lab and learn the system. Players are kind of encouraged to, enjoy this last stretch of quote unquote off time. Obviously, don't let your body go to waste. Don't sit on the couch eating ice cream and chips for the next 30 days. But, hopefully, if in the coaching staff's mind, these guys are in the playbook, they're still working out, they find some time to get together and keep that chemistry up. That's the whole point of minicamp and OTAs, is to provide that base layer so that when they get to July's training camp, they can rev up right away. They don't have to wade into the water. They can dive right in. So that's where I think they're at. I don't expect any major roster decisions, at least not coming in. I think that come 53-man cut day in August, we might see a surprise name or two. But, that's as bittersweet as that is. That's a testament to how good a roster is when you've got players you wouldn't expect to be cut all of a sudden on the bubble of being cut. So, no, I think that the Dolphins roster is in a good space right now.
Ron, by the way, on the text line says, I'm trying to get the F out of California. I don't blame him.
Where you live, Ron?
Yeah, he's in California. Where in California, Ron? We want to know, is what he's asking. Where in California?
Yeah, I see Jason Myers and Joel talking about that tough stretch. That is, I got to say, man, so I was up in Bristol a few weeks ago, right? And I was talking to Sal Palantonio about the Dolphins season. And he's like, what are you thinking? Like, how many wins they got? And I was like, look, man, there's this stretch in December where they're at Niners, at Chargers, at Bills, Packers on Christmas, at Patriots. And this man's jaw dropped. And he's like, I don't think I've ever seen a stretch that difficult in my life. So, yes, Joel, you nailed it, man. This is, I think, my 5th NFL season. So it's not like I got, decades in the game, but this is the most difficult stretch that I've ever seen a team I've covered have to play.
I just think I think this is all a bunch of bullshit that people just make up to go through all that. It's an NFL season, dude. You got to win your games to get in.
You got to win your games.
Last year, but listen. Last year, this is how the story gets painted. Well, you built up all your wins against the shitty teams. And then the second half of the season, when the schedule was much tougher, you suffered a whole bunch of losses, right? And so, or the other way around, I'm sorry, right? That's what it was. They lost all their games early on because they played all the tough teams, and then they played the weak sisters in the back end, and that's where they pumped up their schedule. Well, then, hey, listen, guess what? Now you're going to find out if the Dolphins are actually good, because if they're beating good teams, now they can actually maybe get to the playoffs and win some damn games. So I'd rather them play a tough schedule and play the good teams than pump up the schedule with a bunch of shitty teams who then fills you up with a whole bunch of hot air and you find out your team is really not that good. Well, so it's the NFL.
We broke it down a few weeks ago, though. We broke it down a few weeks ago. There's 3 parts. It's not necessarily a tough schedule. There's 3 parts to the schedule, like 3 individual seasons right now. Like, it's a tough stretch to start. That Bengals, or not Bengals, the Pats, Ravens, Bills, Bengals. Yeah. And then you've got cake. You got Jets, Vikings, Steelers, Lions, Bears, Browns, Texans. Jacoby Brissett's going to be playing quarterback for the Browns. Like, it's not going to be Deshaun Watson. There's just, I don't know. The NFL has morally let me down a lot over the past few years, but this is one that I just don't see any way that they get wrong here. They have to start making things right. But I mean, so you get trial by fire to start. You learn a lot about yourself. Like, you might be 1-3 to start, and then you've got an opportunity to bounce back. You got opportunity to hit your layups there in the middle of the season. And then at the end is really, like you said, that's really when you find out what you're really about. Like, it's going to be crunch time. The AFC is too tight. It's going to be crunch time. That's going to be the time where you pull a couple games out that maybe you weren't supposed to on paper. But I don't know. It should be an exciting end of the season, man. Like, that's
you'll find out.
That Bills game might get flexed to prime time.
You'll find out what they really are. And that's the beautiful thing. What you don't want is to, pump your schedule up with a whole bunch of shitty teams, and then you think you're good when you're really not. So this is, to me, I don't really care how difficult the schedule is. That's part of the process, and that'll get you ready. So now it's up to McDaniel to prove that he can coach and and put together an offense and develop an offensive line and all of those things. Let me give you a question I asked Poupart on earlier. Out of the guys that are coming back from last year, who's got the toughest job to make this team? Who's the player that you would put behind the 8 ball and say, yeah, you were on the team last year, but I don't think you're making it this year? Who's that?
Return player on the bubble. That is tough.
Well, he mentioned Slomin Kinley, which is a guy definitely because of the weight issues. Preston Williams is another one of those guys that was last year, but now the receiving core is loaded. So you've got 5 automatics already making that team.
You know what? I like. I agree with him in terms of Slomin Kinley. I don't like to comment on players' weight when I'm watching from the sideline. You know, I don't know what kind of good weight, bad weight it is, but Slomin Kinley looked bigger than last year, and it didn't look like, you know those posts everybody says in the offseason, oh man, this guy's been in the gym, when really he's just like an NFL player. No, Slomin Kinley looked big, and it didn't look great.
And that's not good. And that's not good for this line.
That's not good for this line. You got to be able to move at guard. So Allen's onto something there. I'm going to move over to tight end, and I'm going to look at Adam Shaheen right now.
Really?
Mike Gesicki's on the franchise tag, and obviously is a lock. Durham Smythe, 2-year contract, obviously a lock. They're not bringing 4 tight ends.
And Hunter is locked.
Season. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So it's going to be between Adam Shaheen and Hunter Long, and Hunter Long is cheaper, and he's the 3rd round pick. But of a different coaching regime, same GM, but it's going to be between those two. I don't see them having 5 damn tight ends on the 53-man roster like they did last season. That made 0 sense. Like that doesn't get talked about enough as far as things they did on offense that didn't make sense. Gesicki, Smythe, Shaheen, Cethan Carter, and Hunter Long did not need to be on the 53-man roster at once.
I'll give you one more thing you have to take into account. The fullback kind of takes away from the tight end also.
Alec Ingold is making the roster.
He'll do some of the things that a tight end can do. So that's why you won't keep 5 and you'll struggle to keep 4. But I think 4 might be the number. So it could be also Cethan Carter could be in that mix also, right?
No, it's going to be obviously the top 2 are set. It's Long or Shaheen. Or maybe a UDFA comes in, maybe some training camp stud comes in or star comes in.
You think they stay at 3 tight ends, they don't go to 4?
I don't think they go to 4. No.
Okay.
And not just that. So obviously you got to account for Alec Ingold, and then you've got to account for at least 4 running backs as well. I mean, they've got Mostert, they got Edmonds, Gaskin, Ahmed, Sony Michel, the kid from South Carolina, undrafted rookie, name is escaping me right now, but he's had a strong rookie camp in OTAs. That's 6. Somebody's got to go right now. I think I put out my 53-man projection, my way too early projection, but I had them keeping Mostert, Edmonds, Gaskin, and Sony Michel. So that's Saban Ahmed is getting cut in that regard. But that's still 4 running backs plus a fullback. It's 5 guys in the backfield you have to account for. Right. They're not keeping their 4 tight ends. It's got to stick to 3.
All right. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. Are you still off on ESPN, or are you working on something there?
It's a slow time. It's a slow time. I'm basically I'm here for the vibes for the next few weeks. Got a couple vacations planned. Vacation next week, actually heading out to the Bahamas. So, I'm checking out for the next, we'll call it 4 or 5 weeks, and then we're gonna hit the ground running come training camp. So those dates are enough.
Bahamas are fun, bro.
Man, it was kind of a little experience, like, because it's only
money, but it's fun. But it's fun.
Hey, it was mostly points, man. Like that's why I grind in these Hiltons for. For the past few years, I had like 100,000 points to spend, so it wasn't nothing to book it. But no, I can't wait to get there.
Okay, all right, good. Well, hopefully they don't cancel any of your flights. I'm flying next month, and I'm just praying that we can get off the ground because, bro, they are canceling flights left, and they don't have enough pilots.
I'm flying Silver Airways, Silver something. It's like the plane there out of Fort Lauderdale.
So silver is like a little airline that
Yeah,
flies to the Bahamas and back. Okay, I didn't.
yeah. Like a little 45-minute flight. Like felt like easier commitment than the ferry, and about the same price. So
Okay. Propeller?
I would rather not know. I would rather not know. I'm just gonna get on the plane, bro. Like I'm not gonna look at the John. I'm just gonna sit down and say, all right, let me know when we land. Let me know when we land, and it better not be on no water.
Awesome. That is awesome. All right, follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. I'm glad you're feeling better, my man. We will catch up later on in the week. Always appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. See you Thursday.
You got it. There you go. Marcel Louis-Jacques, baby. Smooth, delicious, and zero aftertaste. You want the best energy drink on the planet? Yes, smooth, delicious, and zero aftertaste. And a great elixir. You go for the edge. Go to myedgedrink.com and use our code BIG OW and you get 10% off. That is Marcel Louis-Jacques.